Silence is one of the most underestimated forces in this world. People often think silence is emptiness, weakness, or the absence of power, but in reality, silence is one of the greatest strengths you can ever master. In a noisy world filled with constant distractions, endless opinions, and voices trying to tell you what you should or shouldn't be, silence becomes a weapon, a shield, and a guiding light. Silence is not about saying nothing, it is about choosing when to speak, when to act, and when to listen to the voice inside of you. The power of silence comes from restraint, patience, discipline, and self-control, and once you understand how to use it, you become unstoppable. Think about how the most dangerous storms often arrive without a sound, how the strongest animals stalk their prey in silence before they strike, and how the deepest thinkers don't waste their words. They observe, they learn, they absorb, and then they speak with meaning. That is the same way life works. The more silent you become, the more you begin to notice things others don't. You start seeing who people really are when they think you are not paying attention. You start noticing opportunities that the noisy and distracted crowd will always miss. Silence sharpens your instincts and allows you to understand life in ways that endless talking never will. In silence, you discover yourself. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, opinions, and chatter, you lose connection with who you are. You start living by the voices of others instead of the voice of your own heart. But when you allow yourself moments of silence, true silence, where no distractions disturb your mind, you reconnect with your inner strength. You start hearing your thoughts clearly. You start separating your real desires from the fake ones that society plants inside you. You begin to ask yourself powerful questions. Who am I? What do I want? Where am I heading? Silence gives you clarity, and clarity gives you power. Without silence, you will always be lost in the noise of the world. Silence also gives you control over your emotions. Most people react instantly, without thinking. They speak out of anger. They argue without reason. They defend their pride, and in the process they lose respect, they lose opportunities, and they lose relationships. But the person who knows how to remain silent in moments of chaos holds all the power. Silence is not weakness in these moments. It is strategy. It is patience. It is knowing that not everything deserves a reaction. Not every insult needs an answer. Not every challenge needs an immediate fight. Silence is choosing your battles wisely. It is responding when the time is right, and when your words will have the most impact. Great leaders understand the power of silence. They don't rush to speak. They don't waste their energy proving themselves to everyone. They allow their actions to speak louder than their words. Their silence commands respect because when they finally do speak, people listen. That is the kind of strength you must develop in your own life. Don't try to prove yourself to everyone. Don't feel the need to explain your every move. Don't argue with people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Sometimes the best answer is silence. Sometimes the greatest wisdom is shown by walking away and letting your results speak for you. Silence also strengthens your focus. Every day, millions of distractions fight for your attention. Social media notifications, gossip, endless talking, unnecessary debates, and the constant noise of a world that never stops. But when you embrace silence, you shut out the distractions and you start focusing on what actually matters. Silence allows you to sit down, concentrate, and work on your goals with undivided energy. The world is loud, but winners are silent. The world is distracted, but achievers are focused. While everyone else is busy making noise, you will be busy building your future. That is the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually achieve it. Another power of silence lies in mystery. People fear what they do not understand, and when you are silent, people cannot predict your moves, they cannot read your next step, and that makes you powerful. The more you talk about your plans, the more you expose your weaknesses. But when you stay silent, no one can interfere, no one can sabotage, and no one can drain your energy with their doubts. Silence protects your vision. Let your results announce your success instead of your words. Become so focused, so disciplined, and so consistent that when people finally notice, they are shocked by the level of transformation you've achieved. But silence is not just about withholding words, it is about creating space within yourself. In silence, you learn patience. You learn to sit with discomfort without running away. You learn to observe your pain instead of escaping it. You learn to reflect on your mistakes instead of drowning in guilt. Silence teaches you resilience because it forces you to face the truth without distractions. Most people cannot sit in silence because they are afraid of what they will find inside themselves. But the strongest people are the ones who embrace silence and use it as a mirror. In that mirror, you will see your flaws, but you will also see your potential. You will see your fears, but you will also see your courage. Silence reveals everything. Think about the moments in your life where silence taught you the biggest lessons. Maybe it was the silence after a heartbreak, when no words could heal the pain but you had to sit with it until you grew stronger. Maybe it was the silence in your room late at night when you finally admitted the truth about your life to yourself. Maybe it was the silence of rejection, when no one believed in you but you chose to keep going anyway. Those silent moments were not weakness, they were preparation. They built your character, they forged your resilience, they shaped you into the person you are becoming today. The world will try to trick you into believing that you need to constantly speak, constantly share, constantly prove yourself, but the truth is the opposite. The more you talk, the more you give away your power. The more you remain silent, the more you protect your energy. Silence is not about avoiding communication, it is about mastering it. It is about knowing that words are valuable and should not be wasted. It is about recognizing that sometimes your silence will teach others more than your words ever could. Silence is not absence, silence is presence. So use silence wisely. Use it to grow, to heal, to build, to focus. Use it as your shield against negativity, your weapon against distraction, and your path to wisdom. When others are loud, be calm. When others are reactive, be patient. When others are busy speaking, be busy building. Silence will separate you from the average, it will make you unpredictable, and it will give you control over your own destiny. The person who can master silence can master themselves, and the person who can master themselves can master the world. In the end, silence is not weakness. Silence is strength. Silence is clarity. Silence is growth. The loudest voice in the room is not always the strongest. The strongest voice is often the one that doesn't need to shout. The greatest power is not always shown in what you say, but in what you choose not to say. Learn to embrace silence and you will discover a strength inside you that no noise can ever break. Silence is not emptiness, it is full of wisdom, discipline, and power. And once you realize this truth, you will never underestimate the power of silence again.